My name is Hillary, and I thought we could do some writing together. Go ahead and grab your story or some paper and something to write with. Great, let's get started. I was getting ready to add the illustrations and pictures to my story, and I thought that we could explore how other writers use their illustrations to tell and show parts of their stories to get ideas for our illustrations. Let's take a look. In this book, The Bunny Hop, people keep finding bunnies in unexpected places. Take a look at this illustration. What are you noticing? This writer decided to focus on the character and put a little bit of the setting in the background because the character was more important in this part. Let's take a look at another part. What are you noticing about these pages? The writer has included the setting because Zoe's planting her garden, and they've also shown another important part of this story, her finding all the bunnies in the shed. So you could have some background and zoom in on your character, like these pages. You could show a whole scene or part of the story. Let's take a look at another example. This is like the Grover page, where the writer has zoomed in on the character and just done some shading in the background. Same here. You see just the character, and there's not a lot in the background or setting. So there's lots of ways we can do our illustrations. We can decide to show a scene from the story, or we can do a zoom in and do some background color. Let's take a look at one more book. Take a look at these pages. This is definitely that scene, isn't it? Where the writer has drawn all the different parts of the setting to help us understand the parts of the story, the bees buzzing in the meadow. What are you noticing about these pages? What has the illustrator done to help us understand the story more? I'm noticing there's a scene and a lot parts of the setting to help us understand those frogs croaking. She could have just drawn frogs, but created the scene for us. So when we're thinking about the details in our illustrations that we want to add, we can include a setting, a where, a when, and some background, either the shading or a place. Or we could zoom in on the people and make sure that we show their face and their body. Let's give it a try. I'm writing this story about when Scott and I went to Maine on a boat trip to see whales. I'll read it to you and we can think about what we will draw. In Maine, we decided to go on a boat trip to see puffins and whales. It was a cold day. It was very windy. Scott did not wear a jacket. So let me think about what are the most important parts that I want to show my reader. Well, it was definitely very windy, so I could do a little bit of a scene, but the main part is Scott did not wear a jacket. So I think I'm going to do a zoom in. As I'm drawing my zoom in, look at your story and think about one of your illustrations. Will you do a scene or a zoom in? Those are his shorts. Socks, sneakers, and the pockets. Now I think I'll add his face. At the beginning of the trip, Scott was pretty happy too. Now I'll draw myself. I knew it was going to be cold, so I made sure to wear a jacket that day. Here are my pants with the belt buckle, and here's my jacket. Here's the buttons going down the front, and it was a high jacket. Do you see how I thought about what's the most important part of my story that I want my reader to understand? And that helped me decide what parts of the setting or the people that I wanted to show. I'm thinking about the windy part. Maybe I'll show that with a little bit of wind. It was super windy. Let's try another page together. We stood at the front of the boat because it's the best spot to see whales. It is also the coldest and windiest spot. We saw 8 puffins, which are birds, 2 eagles, and 0 whales. What would you draw on this page? Think about what you think is the most important part of the words in the story that I should show my reader. What would you draw? I think for this part, I'll draw the boat and the water. And then here's the front. So I'm going to draw Scott and myself. Here I am. These were super windy. And here's Scott. He was really mad because he was so cold. I was on the lookout. And then I'll draw a puffin here. Show another part of the scene. Do you see how we thought about what the most important part in the words is? And we used our picture and illustration to show our reader more parts and help them understand the words? You can do that too in your story. Take a look at your story right now and think, do my illustrations show and tell and help my reader understand my story? You can think about the setting, the where, the when in the background, or you can think about the people and animals in your story, their faces and their bodies. Have fun!